Identifying glacial landforms on a map requires a keen eye for interpreting contour lines, which are essential for understanding the shape and elevation of the terrain. Contour lines connect points of equal elevation and help to reveal the subtle and dramatic features sculpted by glacier. By carefully analyzing these lines, you can spot several distinctive glacial landforms such as pyramidal peaks, corries, arêtes, glacial troughs, and ribbon lakes. Pyramidal peaks are sharp, pointed mountain summits formed where several corries, also known as cirques, have eroded back towards each other from different sides of a mountain. On a map, pyramidal peaks are identified by tightly packed contour lines that form a roughly circular pattern around the summit, indicating steep slopes that converge to a high point. These peaks stand out due to their steep sides and isolated, angular shapes. Corries, which are bowl-shaped hollows on the sides of mountains, are another key glacial feature that can be identified using contour lines. On a map, corries typically appear as horseshoe-shaped contours that open outwards, with the closed end pointing towards the mountain peak. The contours are closely spaced on the back wall of the corrie, showing the steepness of the eroded slope, and more widely spaced on the floor of the corrie, where the gradient is gentler. These landforms are often the starting points for glacier and may still hold small lakes known as tarns. Arêtes, which are sharp, knife-edge ridges between two corries or glacial valleys, can also be identified on maps by looking for closely spaced, parallel contour lines that run in a narrow, linear formation. Arêtes are usually found in areas where glacier have eroded the sides of adjacent corries, leaving a narrow ridge of rock between them. These ridges are some of the most striking features of glaciated landscapes and are often found in mountain ranges that have been heavily shaped by ice. Glacial troughs, also known as U-shaped valleys, are another prominent feature formed by glacial erosion. These valleys are identified on maps by contour lines that are widely spaced on the valley floor but tightly packed on the valley sides, creating a U-shaped pattern. This contrasts with the V-shaped valleys formed by rivers, where the contour lines converge more sharply towards the valley floor. Glacial troughs are often broad and flat-bottomed, reflecting the glacier's ability to erode the valley floor and sides evenly as it moves through the landscape. Ribbon lakes, long and narrow bodies of water that often occupy glacial troughs, can be identified on maps by their elongated shapes that follow the contours of the valley. These lakes are formed when glacier overdeepen parts of the valley floor, creating basins that later fill with water. The presence of a ribbon lake is a clear indication of past glacial activity, as the glacier's erosive power has carved out a deep, narrow depression that now holds water. By understanding how to read contour lines and recognizing the patterns they form, you can accurately identify these glacial landforms on a map. Each of these features tells a story of the glacier's journey through the landscape, revealing the immense forces that shaped the mountains, valleys, and lakes that characterize glaciated regions. This skill is invaluable for geographers, hikers, and anyone interested in understanding the physical features of the land.